Let's talk about the next topic. Um, as you know, I'm fully committed to bringing our attention back to BTS and not to other people who's just trying to ride on their fame, trying to get attention from people because they can't hack it by themselves. So I feel like South Africa Army, please come to East Coast other than New York. It seems I remember the composer was Berling. I didn't even know about Grammy. Then star straight into military service. That is not rest. All right. So let's talk about, as you know, I'm really committed to bringing our attention back to BTS and not give attention to people that are just trying to ride on their fame, people who can't hack it by themselves, narcissistic people. I don't like them. So I just want us to revisit some of the songs of BTS. And Anpanman is actually one of the most beautiful songs they have ever written. I'm sure that many of you already know that Anpanman is an anime superhero, and his head is actually a bun. It's bread. Okay, that is bread. His head is a bread. Um, he's not very strong. I haven't watched any of the full episodes. I've seen clips. And he's not a very strong character, but he's very, very well meaning. So he actually would be willing, because his bread, what he would do is give, if someone is hungry, he would actually tear himself. So sad, right? Tear himself to give a part of himself to other people so they can eat it. But one of the things that weren't usually mentioned is that it actually came from, those are two words. Anpan is, those are two words. An came from the word angko, which is red bean paste. So if you ever have been to a Korean store, they have breads with a red bean paste. So that's where it came from. Pan means bread, so anpan man, and then man because it's a guy. There is one line there, one bar that says, I jumped with all I've got up in the sky, bang, bang. So it actually sounds like a gunshot. And as we know, BTS is bulletproof. So I think that was just like a nice play of words. RM's actually the one who wrote the lyrics, but it's a nice word play for them to be able to connect those two. Now, the line that has a deeper meaning is when he said, I can be your hero. A lot of people don't realize that he actually didn't say superhero. He's just saying that I can be your hero. So he's just saying that I can be someone who can help you. I can save you if you call for me the right time. If I have the ability to save you, I will, although I don't have superpowers. So it was just, and that is where the entire concept of Anpanman actually came from. That he is a superhero with no superpowers. He's actually very weak. Another line is when he said, I just woke up a hero, or I just woke up and then I became a hero. As I think we all know by now, that when they were struggling, they did mention that they weren't really aiming to become this popular, this big. All they wanted to do was pursue music, be able to make a living doing what they love. And suddenly they were helping the Korean economy. They were winning awards, filling up stadiums, selling out stadiums, helping UNICEF, and so many others. Suddenly, this expectation, they were being, the love yourself became bigger. The love yourself message became bigger than they were. And they really were doing and all they really were doing was what they wanted to do was music. So it was like they weren't even conscious of them becoming heroes to a lot of people, and many of those people they don't even know. Another line is, even if it hurts, I'm still a hero. So I'm sure you know this. Apa in Korean means hurt. Sorry, in English it means hurt. Apa. There is and it sounds similar to anpan, which is a word in the title of the song. So that line, when they said, even if it hurts, I'm still a hero, can actually mean two things. It can mean, even if it hurts, I'm still a hero, or I will still a hero, or even Anpan, who's a weak person, can still be a hero. So I think, but knowing it's BTS, so I'm sure the double entendre is actually intentional. Another line is, all I have is one punch of a song. That's one line that they have. Um, uh, it actually means big one hit. like one punch, a strong punch. And in Korean, a single punch that knocks out an opponent is actually an expression. And all BTS has really are songs, but those are enough to get over adversaries or to knock out opponents. But one hit in English can mean something negative, which is one hit wonder. So I think the play of words, the word play is that it gives the song a double meaning. And then they do have a line that says and become muddied again. Full of mud is actually usually used as a metaphor for public disgrace and scandal. So it wasn't just about them getting dirty because of the things that they're doing, but actually uh, the scandals and the scandals and the things that the media were accusing them of, the haters and stuff like that. So Jimin did say in one interview that Anpanman is the weakest hero in the world. He doesn't have any supernatural powers, but he's a hero who tears off himself to give food to someone who's hungry because he is bread. His head is a bread, and his entire being is actually bread. And so, if someone is hungry, he would just tear off himself and give it to other people, even if it hurts him. And that is exactly what BTS has done. They tear themselves to pieces for their art, for each other, and of course for armies. They have sacrificed a lot for us and for each other and for the pursuit of superior art, even if it costs them their sanity, their privacy, a lot of the things that they missed, a lot of things in their youth. Okay. Now, the entire song is actually kind of connected to the book, not connected, but consistent with the some of the messages to the book, The Courage to be Disliked. Messages from the book, The Courage to be Disliked. So this was a book that was being read by Shoga and Army, sorry, RM in the soup, in the last in the soup that they had. And the authors are Ichiro Kishima and Fumitake Koga. So for my Patreon subscribers, if I haven't sent this to you yet, you're going to get one. um yeah, I think I sent it to you already, but if not, I'm going to be distributing a free copy to everybody. The Courage to be Disliked. So one of the major messages of The Courage to be Disliked is happiness versus peace. So what they're saying is that the enemy of happiness is actually routine, and that's what makes it hard, or not really hard, but unpractical for people to pursue happiness. And as we know, that is very much glamorized in on social media. Everyone just wants to be happy. It's all about happiness. I can't be happy. I want to be happy. Make me happy. It's all about happiness. But the thing is that happiness is temporary. And even if, for example, you've worked hard for something all your life, you finally achieve it, at some point, the routine of that life is going to get to you and you will stop being happy because of that. Or that you spend your entire life trying to get something, but you're not really aware of the consequences of that life that you pursued. You want to become a popular singer, but you don't know that being a popular singer comes with hard work, with a lot of people that will irritate you, loss of privacy, and all of those stuff. Your name being disparaged by people you don't know. You're getting hated. People are saying and inventing things about you, making up stories and rumors about you. So happiness is not practical because it's temporary, it will never stay. And if that is the only thing you're pursuing because it's very temporary, then most likely you will end up being the opposite, and that is unhappy. Peace, on the other hand, is permanent. So, and that starts with acceptance. So, if and what it means basically is that if you just allow yourself to settle on the fact that there are things you can never have, things that you can never accept, you will have peace for as long as you know that you are doing your best and you are doing everything you can within your power to improve your life and improve the life of the people that you love. Then you should be okay. Once you are in that state, you're not looking or comparing yourself with other people and just comparing yourself to yourself of yesterday, then you should achieve peace, and that is more viable and that is permanent. Starts with acceptance. One of the ways that you can achieve peace is to have a purpose. But you don't need any big purpose. It doesn't have to be special, just like what Anpanman is doing. You don't need to have superpowers. You don't need to make an impact to the world for you to actually have a purpose. You just have to do whatever you can do within the resources that you have. Um, it can be helping a friend babysit his or her child because they need to go to a job interview. It could be carrying somebody, bring their grocery from the door of the grocery to the car, or it can be just lending $5 to a stranger just because they needed it. Or it can be listening to somebody who just needed someone to talk with. It can be anything. It can be small, it can be big. But for as long as you are aware that you're doing something good to somebody, that should be enough. You don't need the other person to acknowledge it. The what others say about you is none of your business. So do your part. For as long as you know you're doing your part, for as long as you're recognizing that you're making a difference, no matter how small. By the way, no change or no positive impact is actually small. But for as long as you're aware of it, then you should be fine. Okay, so that is Anpanman for you. So if you are a member of my Patreon, I'm going to give away a copy of this and the second book to this, which is The Courage to Be Happy. Okay. A while ago, I read a phrase that said, many people miss the small joys looking for great happiness. Right. Yeah. I really am. So I told you that I helped raise my niece, and that's one of the things that I actually just lately I had to explain to her, like, don't pursue happiness. It's going to depress you because it's just going, no matter how great your life is, at some point it's going to be routine. And when that happens, you're going to be bored, you're going to look for new adventures, you're just going to go in circles chasing. It's like addiction, right? You're going to get your high, once it passes you want something else, so you'll do it again. So that is like the cycle of addiction. So let it come when it comes. The more important thing to do is to have a purpose. So for as long as you're making a difference, no matter how small, that is enough. The most common really is just to help a friend if they are in need of any kind of help, moving, babysitting their kids, dog sitting their dogs, whatever that may be. If they really need your help, just be there. That should be enough. Listen to your friends. If a lot of people, and this is underestimated, by the way, listening is an underestimated superpower. By the way, it's not easy to listen to people and not have an opinion on what they're going through. But if you can do that, like, a lot of people know if they're doing something wrong, if they're putting themselves in the wrong situation, they just need somebody to listen. So if you master that technique, if you master that skill, you're going to change the world. BTS remind me of my favorite Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. It's not what changes on the outside, but on the inside. Correct. Yeah, correct. I do you Anybody here who's into van life? Like, do you watch people who are living in their vans or something? Because I love those, and I actually plan to do it in the future. um, so there is this one guy who does van life, and she said that he actually got depressed eventually with what he was doing, because, and then he really wasn't sure what was wrong, and he later on realized that he was too fixated with the van, what kind of van he was going to build, what kind of stuff he's going to be putting inside a van, how it's going to look like, and stuff like that. That he actually missed the essence of van life, and that is to be able to travel, meet new people. And once he realized that, that's when it hit him that he was just looking at the outside, the appearance of van life, not the essence of van life. So I felt that that was a lesson we all need to learn, that it doesn't matter what you look like, that the physical, for as long as the inside is okay. And also, as this the thing that I often see in social media, a lot of people are so fixated in the appearance of kindness, not on the kindness itself. Like, and that is, they try to be nice but they aren't being kind. I love I watch them often. I live the van remodels. I live the van remodels. Like, you lived in a van that you remodeled. I very much look at BTS as I would my grandniece and nephews. I only want the best for them, and they get to choose what that is, not me, not fans. Correct. I agree. I do watch those van life vlogs. Who's your favorite? Sometimes just validating someone can make such a huge difference for them. Yeah. Another thing is that, okay, so I gave out a book to my Patreon subscribers, How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of the most important lessons I learned from their tip, which actually turned out to be a lesson, is praise people. Say something good about them. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be something small, but make sure that you're being honest. Be sincere. So if you praise someone, for as long as you're sincere about your praise, it actually makes a difference in their day, which eventually can make a difference in their life. So I consciously try to just notice people. Maybe it's a good shoes or new hairstyle or whatever. It doesn't have to be big. Like, an office mate of mine came in with a really, really nice jacket which she made herself, and I was like just really impressed with what she was wearing. And so I said it like, oh, that's a nice jacket. I said I would buy that if I see it in the store. And then she told me like, oh, I actually made this, and that she was actually trying thinking about making clothes and selling them on Etsy or something like that. And she said that, you keep she said that you have praised the things that I've done several times. She said that she's thinking maybe she really has the skill for it. So something as simple as that. So if you see someone, just try to notice it, and but don't lie. For as long as you really are seeing something that is worth praising, that is worth complimenting, do it, because it can really make a difference in their day.